Very good. Thank you. Good evening and welcome to the July meeting of the Northborough Conservation Commission. My name is Greg Young. I'm the current chair of the commission. This open meeting of the Northborough Conservation Commission is being conducted remotely, consistent with Governor Healy's executive order of March 29, 2023, an act relative to extending certain COVID-19 measures adopted during the state of emergency. All members of the Northborough Conservation Commission are allowed and encouraged to participate remotely. This order allows the Northborough Conservation Commission to meet entirely remotely so long as reasonable public access is afforded so that the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. The public is encouraged to follow along using the posted agenda unless the chair notes otherwise. Members of the public who wish to view the live stream of this meeting may do so by going to Northborough Remote Meetings on YouTube via the link listed on the agenda. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law. This meeting will feature public comment. Members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Tom Beals. Tom was here. Dan Clark.
Here.
Justin Dufresne.
Here.
Diane Goldner.
Here.
Todd Helwig.
Here.
And Tom's back with us. Tom Beals, you're muted still. You working to unmute? Here you go. Tom Beals. We have audio there? Owen, what do you think?
I don't hear anything.
Yeah. Okay. We will come back. Staff, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Vincent Vignali.
Yes.
Owen Jones.
Here.
Very good. Ground rules. For presenters and/or applicants on the agenda, the chair will invite each speaker or applicant on the agenda by name to make a presentation and speak to their application. Participants will provide their full name and hold until their name is called. Each speaker will be asked to mute their phone or computer when not speaking and to speak clearly and in a way that helps generate accurate meeting minutes. Those responding will be asked to wait until the floor is yielded to them by the chair. Speakers who wish to respond to the comments of others do so through the chair, taking care to identify themselves. Each vote taken by the commission will be conducted by a roll call vote. After members have spoken, the chair will afford public comment as follows. By phone, dial *9 to raise your hand and wait to be recognized. Please note that part of your phone number will be visible to those viewing the meeting. By Zoom, click raise hand on the bottom of your screen and wait to be recognized. The chair will ask members of the public who wish to speak to identify their names and addresses only. Once the chair has listed all public commentators, the chair will call them each by name and afford 3 minutes for any comments. Reminder that this meeting is being recorded and will be available for viewing via the Northborough Remote Meetings tab on the town's website. Diane, you ready?
Yes. There will be a meeting of the Northborough Conservation Commission on Monday, July 8th, 2024 at 6 p.m. Pursuant to Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2023, an act relative to extending certain COVID-19 measures adopted during the state of emergency signed into law on March 29th, 2023. This meeting will be conducted via remote participation. No in-person attendance by members of the public will be permitted. To participate in the public comment portion of this public hearing, go to the Northborough Remote Meetings YouTube channel or the town website for Zoom information included on the posted meeting agenda. The meeting will include the following hearings pursuant to Mass General Laws, Chapter 131, Section 40, the Massachusetts Wetlands Protection Act, the Northborough Wetlands Protection Bylaw, and/or the Northborough Stormwater Management and Land Disturbance Bylaw. The first meeting is request for determination of applicability, 17 Coolidge Circle, map and parcel 1458, owned by Lisa and James Stone, to remove 11 trees and resurface the existing driveway. The work is proposed within the bordering vegetated wetland, the 25-foot no disturb zone, the 35-foot no structures zone, and the 100-foot wetland buffer zone. The next application is for a request for an extension of an order of conditions. 95 and 105 Lincoln Street, map and parcel 62, 4, and 8, owned by Leandro Siqueira and Silvio de Oliveira, to extend the time for completion of the approved property improvements. The work will not alter any new areas on the lot. And that's all that I have.
Very good. Thanks, Diane.
You're welcome.
Tom, is your audio situation resolved?
I'm sorry, what?
No, I'm talking to Tom, see if we can hear him. Yeah.
Oh,
Nothing? No?
Tom, is there a like a little microphone button that you use to like mute? That little caret. Should be able to change what microphone it uses. No.
Oh, and would it help if you logged out and logged back in?
I don't know. I think it's yeah, he said he tried that.
All right. Well, Tom's obviously here. We can all see him. We just can't hear him. Let's move forward. We can work that simultaneously. Let's see, Vinny, the continuation. The first one I have here is 0 Boundary Street, the dog park.
Yes, we should have Brendan Kunkel
Yep. Okay, I'm going to bring Brandon in.
and the planning director, Laurie Connors, sends her regrets, but she's not available for this meeting. She's on vacation.
Okay, good for her. All right, so we should see, there's Brandon right there. Okay, Brandon, you're muted.
You folks hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Great. Thanks so much. Great to be here this evening. We were actually in front of you folks last month asking for continuation. The reason for that was we were trying to just finalize some late breaking requests by DEP. As you folks might be aware, this is for the dog park off of Boundary Street. We do have an order of conditions. One of those conditions was conditioned on the approval by DEP. DEP followed up several months later with a request related to infiltration within Zone A. They asked that we not infiltrate within the Zone A area. So we modified the catch basin to be a dry catch basin. It will be lined with clay to prevent infiltration. The storm model will be controlled through an outlet control structure, as well as we are including a storm hydrodynamic separator for pollutant removal, as well as a riprap infiltration trench along the perimeter of the detention basin. But essentially, the basin has gotten larger as a result of no infiltration, but the overall concept is still the same in that the water will sheet towards Boundary Street off of the parking lot area in the dog park, and then controlled through an outlet control structure, which flows to a wetland area outside of Zone A. We've gotten confirmation from DEP that they are okay with this approach. We provided updated stormwater calculations, responded to a few of Vinny's comments, included them, and I believe we've met all the requirements of DEP. And so tonight we're just looking to amend the order of conditions and looking to close out this hearing so that the town can commence construction.
Okay, thanks, Brandon. I did see a note coming through from Vinny and also from Scott Carpentier, the DPW manager, on the O&M plan. Have all those issues been addressed as well?
As far as I'm concerned, yes, I will defer to Vinny. If he has any concerns, we can discuss that certainly.
Yeah, what I was looking for was the certifications and confirmations from an engineer, and Brandon sent that to me. I got that this afternoon, and so they did the stormwater checklist and completed that, stamped and signed it. So, and also certified that there's going to be no flooding onto Boundary Street, which was the big concern. So I think we're okay with this.
Okay, good, good. Any questions from the commission? Comments, concerns? No, everybody seems a lot of good heads there. Vinny, you're good if we move forward?
I am.
Okay, then we need a motion to close the hearing on
Hearings.
0 Boundary Street.
It's for the amended notice of intent and the hearing for the land disturbance permit.
Correct.
There's two here.
So moved.
For a second,
Second.
seconded by Justin. Roll call. Tom Beals. I'm going to ask you to unmute. Okay.
Thumbs up.
Dan Clark,
Yes.
Justin Dufresne,
Yes.
Diane Goldner,
Yes,
Todd Helwig.
Yes.
And I vote yes. Hearing is closed. Now we need a motion for a amended order of conditions and amended stormwater management land disturbance permit for 0 Boundary Street. Vinny, any special conditions?
Just the same ones that we had, removing the one in the order of conditions that said obtain DEP approval.
Okay. All right. So all's good with DEP.
Based on conversations via email, it was approximately 3 weeks ago. She said, "This looks good to me." I'm happy to share that email if that is for record purposes.
Who said that, Brandon? Who's that from?
Vinny, if you could help me out, I apologize. The
Judy, I
names
think it
are-
was Judy Schmitz.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Thank you, Vinny.
Okay. All right,
So-
good.
Yeah,
Good.
that was the only thing that I was looking for just send that as so we have something hard copy.
You bet.
So we
Sure,
need, we
sure
need a motion for the requested amended order of conditions as just recently outlined
And land
So
disturbance
moved.
permit.
and land service permit. I keep on forgetting that one, Vinny. Is there
I'll
one?
make that motion.
Justin makes the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Todd. Roll call. Tom Beals. Thumbs up. Dan Clark.
Yes.
Justin Dufresne.
Yes.
Diane Goldner.
yes.
Todd Helwig.
Yes.
And I vote yes. All right, and off we go.
Thank you so much, folks. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Brandon.
Have a good night.
You too. But before we move forward, I skipped over the meeting minutes. Let's go ahead and take a look at those first quickly. Anybody have any questions, concerns, or issues with the meeting minutes from June? Everybody's good with those? Diane, you're good?
Was I here for that meeting? So I missed a couple there when I had my
You were here.
operation.
Justin was absent, but you were here.
Okay, I believe so.
Okay. You're good, I'm good.
Of course.
Then we need a motion to accept the June 10th meeting minutes.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second,
Seconded by Diane. Roll call. Tom Beals. Thumbs up. Dan Clark.
Yes.
Justin Dufresne. Justin
I wasn't
Canuck.
here. I wasn't here.
Diane Goldner.
yes.
Todd Helwig.
Yes.
And I vote yes. Justin, I like the fact you just go mute. That way you're totally covered on that one. So-
That's it. I'm just shaking my head. That's it.
Excellent. 0 Hudson Street. They requested continuation, Vinny?
They did, yes. There's a lot of details that I need to get through and make sure we're all on the same page. Any comments you guys might have are very welcome.
Yes, on the pre-meeting memo you sent out did have a lot of details in it, so I would counsel folks to take a look at that. And we need a motion to continue the notice of intent for 0 Hudson Street.
So moved.
That's Dan
Second.
Clark. Second by Todd. Roll call. Tom Beals. Thumbs up. Dan Clark.
Yes.
Jess Dufresne.
Yes.
Diane Goldner.
Yes,
Todd Helwig.
Yes.
I vote yes. All right.
Still gonna need to do my homework though on that one, because there's some research and thinking that we have to do. And I
Yes.
gotta remember to do that in advance of the meeting next time, which is
Okay. All
on
right.
me.
Would you like us to send you a note, a reminder?
That would be great. It seems obnoxious to ask for such a thing, because I'm an adult.
But you're a busy adult, so I can send a reminder.
We could do that. Okay, yeah, and yes, correct. We do have some homework for that, as we talked about last month too. Okay, we're
Greg?
talking,
may I add a comment here?
you certainly may, Diane.
Okay, on the Hudson Street thing, what's been bothering me a lot of this whole application is the knotweed. So I did some research on that.
Hold on, excuse me. Since it's not, we didn't open the hearing, we shouldn't be talking about it, but compiling comments is a good idea. And
Yep.
That's about all.
Yep.
Okay,
Okay,
go ahead.
we're going to talk about 317 Crawford Street, a continued land disturbance and stormwater management permit, Vito. Let's see, Vito is here. I want to bring him in. Any minute now.
All right, Greg, can you hear me
We sure
now?
can, Tom. Very good.
Okay.
Welcome, Vito.
Good evening. All right. So 317 Crawford Street, we continued from the previous hearing. Essentially, so we could address Vinnie's review letter and then also add in a few other comments from the commission. I'll just share screen. Minute. All right. So essentially, we made a few tweaks to the plan. I know last time we talked about with the commission of potentially collecting some of this upgrading flow that may come down prior to getting to Crawford, so it wouldn't go out and around Crawford. As you remember, there was the existing inlet on the side of the road here. So we did add an area drain down by the end, just so they would collect anything that does come down and then route it over, just so it wouldn't flow across the driveway. We also added a stone sump just as an extra measure up at the end of the swale, so that during those smaller events, if anything does come down there, it would just infiltrate in, and it will only be some of those larger events that may actually get down to that drain. But in any case, it wouldn't get down all the way to the street. It would go through that pipe down to that location. Then we also addressed Vinnie's review comments. And on the plan view here, just a few of the highlights that we upgraded this area drain to a full catch basin with a sump and a hood. And then before these were connected in series, the two inlets, but to increase the efficiency of the sediment removal, we just connected them separately. So they're each individually connected into the dry well system itself. And then we just added some kind of notes, clarification throughout the plan, just to note, verify that the entire roof goes to the dry well, specify erosion blankets on everything over 3:1. I think before we had it on 2:1 or greater, but now it's over at 3:1. And then just a few other, just kind of clarification notes, but nothing that's really, vastly changes the design itself. On the second sheet, which is the kind of site preparation, erosion control plan, we added some general areas for staging, stockpiling, and if it becomes necessary, construction dewatering. I don't think it'll be too necessary during construction, but if it does become that, we do have an area for it. And we also said that there'd be the contractor to provide a plan to the commission on how they would be handling that dewatering. And then we also just added some notes, just specifying some more detail. I think it was kind of general, the way we had this kind of berm at the bottom. We just added elevations on there, so the contractor would have something to go by, a standard to meet when they're building that berm, just as the temporary measure during that initial phase of construction. And then on the last sheet, which is just the detail sheet, it was more cleanup of items, adding elevations to the rain garden detail, adding in the area drain detail, and then cleaning up a few notes here and there that that I had missed, that Vinny picked up in his review. But I think that was the major stuff. And essentially we're kind of back before you. Take any more comments, questions. If you may go back over the plan in more detail, kind of recap it, just let me know.
Okay, good. Thank you, Vito. Vinny, how are you feeling about the changes? I think you're
Yeah, I reviewed it,
pretty good
and Vito was very responsive. Got everything addressed. Had some good ideas for that little splash pad at the end of the diversion ditch at the top of the property. So that's a good way to keep it from eroding down out onto Crawford Street, because that's the big concern, is keeping the flows out of Crawford Street. This site is a difficult site. It's just right next to the prior one that we had a couple months ago that was very, very difficult. It went straight up off the road for the whole frontage. This one at least has the low area where Vito has proposed that basin. So that's a big improvement and a way to kind of overcome any potential construction issues and post-construction stormwater issues. So I think he's done a good job with this.
good. Good. Thanks, Vinny. Any other questions from the commission? Any comments, concerns? Vinny, I think Vito was looking for a couple of waivers, correct?
Yeah.
Yes, waivers from the land disturbance permit in the land disturbance bylaw. One, to do work, they recommend staying, was it 2 feet above the estimated seasonal high groundwater? That's a difficult one on this site just because of the grades, but I think he's addressed it as best he can, and he has sumps and systems to deal with that high groundwater elevation. And then what was the other one?
I think it was, yeah, it was just, I think I have it in the letter.
Yeah.
It was setting the basement slab less than 2 feet above seasonal high and site grading within 4 feet of seasonal high.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the slab grade, he's in there below the estimated seasonal high groundwater, but he has a drain that will drain out into the basin. And then the 4-foot separation that's just good practice, but he's addressing it with his other design standards. So it should be okay.
Okay. Any question from the commission on the waivers?
I'm good with the waivers.
Thanks, Tom. Okay. Then we can move ahead. We need a motion to close the hearing on 317 Crawford Street, stormwater management and land disturbance permit.
So moved.
So moved.
Seconded by Tom. Roll call. Tom Beals,
Yes.
Dan Clark,
Yes.
Justin Dufresne,
Yes.
Diane Gouldner,
Yes.
Todd Helwig.
Yes.
I vote yes. Hearing is closed.
I'll make a motion to issue the stormwater management land disturbance permit for 317 Crawford Street with the 2 requested waivers.
Through a second.
Second.
Seconded by Diane. Roll call. Tom Beals,
Yes.
Dan Clark,
Yes.
Justin Dufresne,
Yes.
Diane Gouldner,
Yes.
Todd Helwig,
Yes.
and I vote yes. All right, Vito, you're good to go.
All right.
So they're gonna plan to start soon, or is there a timeline?
I think they would like to. They didn't tell me the exact timeline though, but
Yeah.
I'm assuming they want to start soon.
Okay, fair enough.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thanks, Vito.
Yeah.
291 Lyman Street. That's the division, that's the DCAM. They also request a continuation, Vinnie, correct?
Yes, they did. This is for the parking area.
And we still have no DEP number for that, right?
It just came this
Good.
afternoon.
Okay. Okay. Are they just still working on issues, or what's going on with them?
I think they're working on issues. They haven't responded. They were away on vacations.
Yep.
A couple of people were away. Well, they were away on vacations.
Okay. All right. So we need a motion to continue the 291 Lyman Street notice of intent and stormwater management and land disturbance permit application to next month.
Can I
So
just
moved.
say, so moved?
Diane, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Justin. Roll call. Tom Beals,
Yes.
Dan Clark,
Yes.
Justin Dufresne,
Yes.
Diane Goldner,
Yes.
Todd Helwig. Todd Helwig is muted,
Yes.
and I vote yes. Continuation, okay. Another continued NOI. This is 29 Fay Lane. Let's see who's here for that.
Be John Savello.
John Savello's here.
I think that would be all.
John, I'm going to bring you in as a panelist. Somewhere.
Hello.
Hello. Is that John? Is that you? We really can't. You're very garbled.
Is that working?
That's better.
Oh, I must have been muted, I guess.
Could be. Could be. Okay, you're gonna just go voice. You no visibility, no sharing of documents or anything.
Yeah, if Vinny could get the plan up for me, that would be good. I don't quite know how to do that.
Vinny is an expert at that.
Oh, he is. Yeah.
All right.
That doesn't look like it.
That's 190 Howard.
There we go.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll just kind of pick up from the last meeting. We had discussed quite a few things on this plan. So since the last meeting, the things we have done, we showed a continuation of the wetland boundary line that was, I had originally started flagging it wet flag 1 and worked towards the direction of the wall, but it seems like it did loop up and around, so we added 1A to 1E. Additional wetland flagging did not get any closer to the project with the setbacks from that line, so it's on there. So we added that. We also, the question of accessing for the demolition and construction of the project. So we graded out the temporary access drive they're going to use to get the machine in there. That's about 14% grade, which should be good enough for their machine to get in there. And then we also call for that to be removed when the new retaining wall is finished. So that's just a temporary grading for access. And that's generally where it's going to go, right in that area. It's the least steep bank from where the driveway is. So we have shown that. We have extended the erosion controls for that temporary access, and we didn't have it going that far, so we extended the erosion control on that end. We actually changed the two setbacks, the 25 and the 35, to make them from the 100-year flood zone and not the wetland boundary line. So those lines both moved out. So the entire project falls within the 25 and the 35-foot setback now. And we are asking for a waiver for those two setbacks. We added additional site plan notes and additional construction notes relating to the driveway, relating to the open slopes that will be, during construction, addressing keeping the material, erosion, sediment blankets or hay or controls on site. So if we do have an issue with an extra large storm or they have a breakthrough or something, we have materials on site to control anything that might be missed. Hopefully it won't be, because we do have a double barrier for that erosion control. We have large systems and we have a wattle. So we really feel as though that will be a good barrier if we do have issues while it's open, while they're constructing. We added a construction sequencing plan. I commented last time that they were going to remove a section and build a section, remove a section. I've been told that's not the way they're going to do it now. So they're going to go in, create, put all these siltation controls in, get those approved, then construct the temporary access slope, and then remove the existing retaining wall, prepare the base grading for the new wall, install the base footings for the new wall, construct the new wall, and then finalize the grading around the retaining wall. Remove the access slope, stabilize all the final grades, seed with a mix, just a seeded mix, because the only area that's being disturbed in there now is herbaceous. And then hanging wetland boundary signs. We've proposed 3 signs, one at the end of the wall, one at the end of the wall, and one in the middle of the wall. And so that was done. There's an existing outlet drain that picks up the gutter runoff from the existing house now. We called for a pipe to be extended on that out to the erosion control, because they're actually going to be filling over that slightly with their access. So we just proposed an extension of that drain pipe. If it is flowing when they're constructing it, it should be fine now. And the one more thing. So when we originally submitted this, we submitted our site plan with the structural plans that the structural engineer did regarding the retaining wall. Now, there was not a survey. We ran the survey on this site after we got. They sent us plans for a retaining wall and said, "Can you file this?" So the grading that the engineer used, the topo he used, I'm not sure where he got it. He may have picked it off of something. And his datum was not NAVD datum either. So those grades that he had on his plan did not match up with ours, but ours were the correct ones that were needed for this plan. So the only reference we want for the structural plans is we're referencing them on our plan because we didn't design the wall. They designed it, but just the materials and the design of the wall is all we're asking for on those plans, because things don't match up on his plans with us. So we're just looking for approval of our plan. And we submitted the design plans so that the commission would have plans showing the type of wall that's going in. But as far as the site goes, none of the site information. He has different erosion control measures. We're just going to refer to our plan for all that information. So hopefully that will be good. And I think that is it. I think we addressed all the concerns that had come up. We did get a DEP file number, and there was one comment from DEP was to confirm that the bank that we located on that perennial stream was the mean annual high water mark, and I feel as though it definitely was. The mean annual high water mark was the bank for that stream. So we have that shown, and I think that is it. In case, unless I'm forgetting something, I think that's where we're at now.
Okay. Okay, thank you. So Vinny, the first question is, the wetland boundary was recalced, right? Using a different algorithm, but it sounds like they used something. Can you explain what they used differently from last time?
Yeah, well, it's just a different standard. The Army Corps standard uses mostly all soils, and the Massachusetts standard uses wetland plants as well as soils. So I guess John focuses mostly on soils, and his line was pretty good where he had flagged it. We just needed to extend it into the area where he hadn't gone and catch a couple of areas, because there's a mound, big giant pine tree in this area with a big root ball, and that is higher than the area in the wetland nearby, but the wetland goes around that little hummocky area.
So is the proposed location of the new wall all at the 25, inside the 25?
Yes, because the 25 is going from the 100-year floodplain, which is this line up here, the blue line. And so that blue line throws a 25-foot and a 35-foot setback. And so the existing wall is just about, it's a little beyond the 25-foot, but because that existing wall, I mean, it collapsed for a reason. It wasn't built strongly enough. And then the new wall that's being designed and built is more sizable. So it needs to be a little bit away from that foundation so they don't dig into the foundation with the dead men, the grid that's behind the wall. And then they fill, and that grid holds the wall up. So that's why the wall is a little closer to the wetland than the existing wall. But it's to build a structural wall that will be sound in the future.
Okay. Vinny, your questions have been answered. Any from your side?
They have, yes. No, I think we're good to go. It is within the 25 and 100, 25 and 35-foot zones, but it's generally a replacement of an existing wall that collapsed. So I think it's kind of grandfathered because this wall existed before the setbacks were established by the town.
Okay, Commission, any questions, comments, concerns?
Just one quick question.
Sure, Dan.
The seating, you're seating, what's in front of the wall is lawn and you're seating behind the wall? Where's the?
Yes, behind the face of the wall towards the resource area will just be a wetland seed mix. Anything that the board will approve. And then from the top of the wall to the house will be landscaping and lawn, what exists now.
Yeah, okay.
And I was considering, let me know what you think, but I was going to allow them to weed whack down in here, not get a mower down, but actually just go down with a weed whacker to keep because he's got bittersweet, he's got a lot of raspberries and a lot of stuff that would be growing up the wall if it doesn't get kept at bay. So I was thinking we let them cut with a string trimmer about a foot or two at the base of the wall, but that's all, not to open this area up to any other activity. And we'd have signs as shown those in this area.
Okay.
And those would be posted. They don't have to be on a tree. It's generally the idea is to do that, or put them on a good beefy post.
Yeah, you can get them in a good spot where they're visible. Yeah.
Man, there's not many options here.
Not many. Now it's tight quarters. Yeah. Extremely tight.
Any more questions from the Commission? Let's see if we need public comment. Any public comment out there? I don't see any hands up. Okay. And Vinny, I presume that you'll stay close to this. I mean, when they first put the erosion control devices out, check on those like you always do. And
Right. Yep. That's one of the conditions will be to get approval on the sediment controls before you start doing the work.
Yeah, I'll probably be laying that out actually.
Good.
John, what's the total time from start to finish for the project?
I think he's been told about 3 weeks. They can get that whole wall done in 3 weeks.
And they're going to do it soon while it's dry?
I would think, yeah.
Okay. Okay, then if everybody's waivers, Vinny, yeah, obviously one big one.
Yep. Well, two, the 25-foot alterations and the 35-foot.
Yep. And no other special conditions.
Just the typical.
Yeah. Signs, 3 signs. Okay, if there's no other concerns, let's move forward with a motion to close the hearing.
I make a motion to close the hearing.
Second,
Second,
Roll call. Tom Beals,
Yes.
Dan Clark,
Yes.
Justin Dufresne.
I don't think I can vote this one, Greg, for not being
Is it?
here last month.
Was it new last month, Vinny, or was it the month before?
I think it was last month.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
I don't remember this one.
Okay. Diane,
yes.
Todd,
yes,
and I vote yes. We need a motion now to issue a notice of
An order.
Order of conditions for 29 Fay Lane with the waivers as noted.
so moved.
You're a second?
Second.
Second by Dan Clark. Roll call vote. Tom Beals,
Yes.
Dan Clark,
Yes. Yes.
Diane Gouldner,
Yes.
Todd Elwig,
Yes,
and I vote yes. Okay, John, you're all set.
Okay, excellent. Thank you so much. Thank you, Vinny.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thanks for working with us. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Good luck. Okay. The next one we have is a request for an extension of an order for 95-105 Lincoln Street. And let's see.
That might be Brian Waterman,
Nope. Nope.
Leo, or Sylvia.
Nope.
All right, well, I gotta get the plans.
We can probably move ahead without them, yeah?
Yes, yep. Would you like the pictures of the yard where the remaining work is gonna go, or?
We all know the house we're talking about here, right? The houses on Lincoln Street across from school, the two next to middle school. Okay, we can probably just go with the pictures then, Vinny, if that's the case.
All right. They're loading.
Okay.
Okay, this is the location on, where am I? The southwest corner of lot 95. This is one closer to the wetland. Wetlands are about 35 feet, 37 feet from the back of this wall. They had a very tight site that they were squeezing this into, and they've been doing the work. They've been doing a good job. They had a little blowout over on this side here a year ago, I think, but they were quick to respond, get it cleaned up, and address the issue. But everything else has been going pretty well. they've cleared this area, they put the barrier up, and this is where they're going to be putting a pool on lot 95. And this is the area on 105. They have a patio here, another wall, and then again, same idea as the barriers at about 35 or 40 feet away from the wetlands that are in the back here. The isolated wetland is off to the left, and this is where they're proposing to put a pool in that area. And that's the only remaining work that was previously permitted. It's just, this was the one, it started, the original order of conditions allowed them to do 2 duplexes, and the buyers preferred to have just single family houses on each lot. And so they revised the plans, got an amended order, and or a notice of not insignificant project change. And so they reduced it to have just single family homes on it. And because that work took almost a year to complete, they were behind their time frame, but they're still moving along pretty well. And I think they'll be able to easily finish up the pool in a year.
Good. And like I said earlier, they've been very cooperative with issues that arose along the way. Any questions from the commission or concerns? No. Let me take a look, see if we have any public comment here. I don't see any hands raised. Okay, then we're looking to. We have to close the hearing in this one, Vinny, or is this
Yep.
just
It's a hearing, so we want to close it.
Need to close the hearing for the request for an extension of order of conditions for 95-105 Lincoln Street.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second,
Seconded by Diane. Tom Beals,
Yes.
Dan Clark,
Yes.
Justin Dufresne,
Yes.
Diane Gouldner,
yes,
Todd Helwig,
Yes.
and I vote yes. The hearing is now closed. So we're looking to extend the order of conditions. What's that, a 3-year extension, Vinny?
No, I think it's a 1-year
1
extension.
year. That should be fine. 1-year extension for 95-105 Lincoln Street. No
So moved.
conditions. Just moved by Todd. Is there a second?
Second.
okay,
Second by Dan. Roll call. Tom Beals,
Yes.
Dan Clark,
Yes.
Justin Dufresne,
Yes.
Diane Gouldner,
yes,
Todd Helwig.
Yes.
I vote yes. All right. We have an RDA on 17 Coolidge Circle, Lisa Stone. Let me see here. I have a Lisa. I'm presuming that's Lisa Stone. Let's bring Lisa in. Lisa, I'm bringing you in as a panelist.
Hi there.
Hello, Lisa. There
How are you?
Good, good. Thanks for joining.
Thanks for having me.
Okay. So what's going on here, Vinny?
All right. Do you want me to walk through it, Lisa, or do you want?
I think, yeah, if you start and I'll fill in wherever there's
Jump in if I'm wrong. Don't be shy.
awesome. Okay. Try
All
not
right.
to be.
So what I will do is start the presentation. Is that the one? Yes. All right. So this is where we
Maybe a little bit bigger, Vinny.
Yep.
1 click, go 2 click.
Yep. I think that would be easy. Controllers are in the way. Oh, there it goes.
Very good. Thank you.
Okay. So just so we have an idea, Coolidge Circle is to the right. Existing driveway is here in the dark line. The proposal is to repave or resurface this driveway existing where it is. This funny edge is because it's rock outcropping, so that's not going to change. But just so that's the edge of the pavement. The other is they're, along with the repaving of the driveway, they want to remove the 11 trees, trees A through K, I think it is.
Yep.
So, and they're shown in different colors here, generally along this area. The wetland line is the old wetland line from a few years ago, so we're not defining where the wetlands are, because generally they're within the buffer zone of the wetland. I believe that the wetland line is a bit farther in. I know that, I think on tree D is the existing sign. At the last application, they were asked to put in the wetland signs, and it's screwed onto tree D. And I think one of the other ones, but I forget which one. But the real concern is that in the last year or so, one of the trees up in this area here fell due to rotted roots and the wind, and it fell down and barely missed the house and the car that was in the driveway. So there's concern on the part of the owners to remove these trees before there's any damage. So I think that's a summary of what you were looking for.
Yep, that's perfect. There were two that fell in December 2023. One, at the house, the other went down the driveway line, so there was no damage. But we did hire an arborist who assessed them all, and basically said the dead ones, he would advise them to be removed, and the A through D were reasonable to remove. So being practical, I'd rather do one job as opposed to spacing it out. And we do feel like it's a definite hazard, and has been for some time, and really got shocked by the ones coming at, the one coming at the house
Sure.
in December. So
how many of the trees are actual hazards?
to
Well-
the property, do you have a different, like, to the property, A, B, C, D, E, they're close to our house or the neighbor's house. And then some of the other ones are over our yard with huge dead branches that they were oaks that were killed during those gypsy moth years, a few years back. So we use our yard. We're a very active family. We've got soccer nets in the yard and hammocks, and they're branches that are definitely over the backyard. And if anything actually fell, at a whole tree failure, it would be pretty scary stuff. So we're pretty conservative in that way in terms of trying to be proactive to maintain the property.
Okay.
It's so
how many of the trees are in the wetland area?
The trees that are in what is the wetland is probably, where are my E, F, G, and H. These,
Those
I
four.
think the wetland has kind of changed a little, but really hasn't changed that much. I think the wetland is kind of in here, and it may come up here, but these trees are not in it. They're nearby.
Right.
The trees A through E, A, B, C, D, and E are the ones that I would agree. I think they could get topped to end the danger of hitting something, because currently the closest one is C, and that one is about 15 to 20 feet away from the driveway. So if they're topped at 12 to 15 feet, that really is not a risk. It still provides the wildlife habitat that's associated with it. I think one of the big problems out here is extensive bittersweet vines are growing up and killing the trees. And that's what really should be being maintained. That should be being cut, but it hasn't been cut, I guess, in 5 or 8 years that it looked like the history of the file that I have. So I think I would recommend that be allowed to be taken out, to allow the bittersweet to be cut when the trees get cut. And then these areas, these trees in the back, the lawn area is set a distance away from the trees. This is a 50-foot buffer line from this wetland line. So you can see we're looking at 40 or so feet to the yard from these old dead trees. And I agree they are old and dead trees, but Those are near the wetlands. They provide habitat for the wildlife. I have a photograph. I'll stop sharing this one and pull up a photograph of the backyard, I think.
At least Vinny and I walked the site last week. so-
Yes, I was trying to be here. I had to go to the office Monday. I was here Tuesday, Wednesday. That's what I thought you were coming. Sorry, I missed you.
Lincoln. I thought I had pulled it up. Let me.
The pictures?
Yep. Maybe it's associated with this one. That's the
not
old
us.
wall.
That looks
Yeah,
like
that's the wall
29
from the
Bay Lane.
last one. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Oh, those are all
That's not
Fay
us.
Lane. No.
Yeah.
All these wetlands look the same.
I just sent you pictures of the tree and the yard, you know, the tree that fell. I didn't take any of the yard.
Okay. Yep. So let me pull this. But if anyone has questions, I'll pull the picture up.
Just wondering, just kind of a quick question for me, Greg, with you and Vinny
Yep.
out there. It looked like some of the trees, although they're a good distance from Lisa's yard, might be pretty close to the neighbor's house. So, like, are any of these being taken down for concern for the abutting property too?
One of them, that was the request, that was our preference to do. Yeah, I think it was
E.
D or E. Yep.
E.
The
Yeah. So
pine
E is the one
that's
that is.
at
Let
an
me pull up
angle.
the pictures. Yeah, I'll pull up
Yeah.
the pictures of what we have, and then I'll pull up the plan again.
Okay.
All right. So this is Coolidge.
Yes, that looks familiar.
So this is taken from the driveway, looking back west, building on the right. The old dead tree, you can kind of see
Yep.
back in here. So it's set back a little bit. There is the yard there.
Which
And
tree
in
is that,
he-
Vinny?
That's a dead oak. That was one of the GH on the far, it's the far end of them.
That's like the end, the last one, right?
Yeah, the farthest to the west. Yep. And then
That
this,
was, yeah.
and this is looking from the yard back, and these are the trees A, B. I think A and B are kind of lined up in here. C is this one, and there's a D that is, actually, let me see if there's a sign on this one.
It's not that one. It's further to the
Isn't
right.
further to the right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is A, B,
Did
and
see the
C.
sign. Yeah.
So if we top these, we shouldn't have any problems. Like at 12 feet, we shouldn't have any problems with falling into the driveway, and it's just much less likely. But you can see all the bittersweet that's just climbed and really killed all these trees.
Yeah, we just learned that we could cut that, so we are trying to maintain the bittersweet, but it's
Oh.
it's a pretty
It's an
strong
invasive plant. Yes.
Yeah, we're learning that one.
Right.
But I did want to go shorter on the stump. If I just felt like the lower to be fair, it's going to be exposed. So if you're trying to, for habitat reasons, I would go to the 4 to 6 feet on those that are right there. And also because they could still fall at 20 feet or 15 feet and hit a car right next to it. So that's one thing I do understand might be an exception, but I was hoping you guys could take that as a consideration. But the rest, I'm fine. Whatever you recommend as far as the height of the stump.
I'll pull the plan back up.
Yeah, because these ones close to the driveway, Vinny, yeah, how far are they from the wetlands? That'd be interesting to see. I mean, it look a
They are
little
about
odd if it's still
18 to
50 feet
20.
from the wetlands and we leave it 20 feet tall. Like I could see
Right.
maybe the ones back really close to the wetlands, in the wetlands, but these ones that are near the driveway, I feel like they could cut those almost flush. Yeah, the A, B, and C.
That would be the preference for sure. There is a stump there that's like almost flush from before we lived here. So it did seem like that was.
Yeah. So the wetlands are in this area here. So they are, A and B are probably 30 feet from what I think are the wetlands.
Yeah.
And then C and D, where'd C go? C is another one that would probably be closer, but again, not in the wetlands.
Right. Correct.
There was one tree that I saw that was, it might have been K, but I think it was dead. and it was in the wetland. It was close to the wetlands, but it looked like that if it fell, it was going to go into that dry pond back there.
Yeah. Yeah, this wetland isn't just a little stream. There's a big extensive pond, well, 100 feet or so of pond. The ones up here are more of a concern. That's why I was thinking that E would go, the house is down in this area here. So,
what about something like flush cutting the ones that are truly a threat? Maybe if that's A, B, and C, or whatever that is, and then trimming those other ones down to 10 or 12 feet, something like that.
that's kind of what I was thinking, but that's the commission.
How's that? What do you think about that, Lisa? If that's an option.
That would be great. Yeah, that would be great. That seems reasonable. Thank you.
Let's see what the commission says.
Okay.
Questions, comments from the commission?
No, that's kind of my thought too, Greg, that A through C seems like they could be flush. And then, yeah, if we could leave some height on the other ones for habitat and things back to the wetlands, I feel like that would make a lot of sense.
Other comments? Dan, what do you think?
I got a question first. Does the colors mean anything on these letters?
No, I was just trying to be
Okay.
creative.
That's a good question.
Have them stand out.
I thought they were like different species.
I don't do this for a living, you guys. This is a first for me.
Yeah, I don't disagree. The A through C, you might as well just cut them flush. Leaving 4 feet isn't going to provide habitat for anything. So,
okay, great.
The ones in the back, I don't know. If it were me, I'd just leave them alone. But I guess I don't have any strong. Are they all dead?
They're all dead. And
everything's dead.
when you have no foliage in the winter, I mean, it's and then I was reading about lightning strikes. So I had a lot of concerns about weather issues, honestly, with the height of them. I don't know, Vinny, if you guys actually know the height, but they're up there.
They're some good size. They're probably 50, 60 foot high. So they're sizable trees, but they're really not going anywhere. They're standing dead like the ones in Edmund Hill that we're trying to take down. It's the same situation there, the oaks. And they've just had a tough couple of years. Items D, and I think D, E, and F might still be alive.
No,
I know D is alive.
is definitely. Oh, wait, let me see. E is through K are dead.
Okay.
Yeah, that was from the arborist.
That's what the arborist said. Okay.
Yep.
Because D was the one that has the sign on it.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. Let me just double check. E, F through K are dead. E was the one that is that large pine that's leaning towards the neighbors. And D is the one that's the white pine that's on our, straight up on our side. So those are the two that look healthy, but so did the one that fell, and hit the house. They all have that root rot. That's what the arborist said, they're all in that possible whole tree failure situation and risk.
Okay. Questions on the commission? Comments?
I just have one comment, Greg.
Sure.
Having lived in a forest for the last 40 years, it's interesting what falls down and what stands up. So I had 2 very tall pine trees in the back corner of my yard. I'm going to say they're probably 80 feet tall, and they both broke at the top. And that's the danger, I think, of pines, is they break at the top and then you don't have any kind of support down at the bottom, and it eventually decays and goes away, I guess. Your arborist probably gave you some very good advice, and I'd follow it. Even if you have to do just 2 at a time, because I know how expensive it is to.
Well, that's the depressing part.
Yes.
We're just beginning, and then we have to do the driveway too. So it's not going to be a fun summer for vacations at the Stone House. Fortunately.
I wish you well.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay. Any more comments, questions? So Vinny, are we looking here at something like A, B, and C flush cut, D through K, all lumped together with 10 to 12 feet above the ground, or some number to be agreed upon?
Yeah, it's around 10 feet. That's around 12 feet. That sounds fine. It's up to the commission.
That sound fine for the commission? Or any adjustments to
Yes.
that input?
Fine by me.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, and 10 to 12 feet, well, that's good habitat, yes? Get to the 10 and 12 foot level, like as opposed to 3 or 4 feet, which is not doing much.
Yeah, I mean, 3 foot, might as well call that a stump.
Yeah, you probably would.
Yeah, at least, yeah, 10 to 12 feet, it's sort of a standing dead snag. You'll get some, as it
Get something.
decays, get some activity on it, so.
Good, woodpeckers and owls, maybe, who knows?
Yep.
All right. Now, how many of these trees have the signs attached? We got to relocate those signs.
That's a good question. I want to say 2,
I think
maybe?
two of them had signs, so we can put
Yeah.
posts for 2 of
Yeah,
them.
that might be better than, I always felt like it wasn't right to put it into a healthy tree.
Yeah. We use those signs maybe and then on a
Yep.
couple of posts.
We can
Okay.
repurpose them for sure.
All right.
And is there anything on the driveway that you have to discuss, or just same exact?
Same
footprint and everything
location,
is- yep.
you're just resurfacing. So
Exactly.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay. So we are looking to, and there's no public comment here. Let me double check that. Triple check.
My
that.
husband's also on from another line, but I don't.
Is that
unless-
Jim Stone?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
Is his hand raised?
His hand is not raised.
All right.
He wants nothing to
Keep
do with
him-
this.
We'll keep him quiet. Yeah.
Smart man. That's right.
Yeah.
It's going his way. Just keep it quiet.
Right.
Okay. So we need to close the hearing first, yeah?
Yes, sir.
Need a motion to close the hearing.
Make a motion
Go ahead.
to close the hearing.
Very good. Is there a
Second.
second? By Diane. Roll call. Tom Beals,
Yes.
Dan Clark,
Yes.
Justin Dufresne,
Yes.
Diane Goldner,
Yes.
Todd Helwig,
Yes.
and I vote yes. Hearing is closed. So we're looking to issue, I believe, a negative determination with the only special conditions, I think, Vinny, would be the relocation of the 2 signs to markers. And also 3 trees, I think they'd be A, B, and C, right? 3 trees to be flush cut, the rest to be topped.
Yes.
Need a motion for that.
So moved.
By Todd, is there a second?
Second.
Second.
Seconded by, I think that was Justin. Roll call. Tom Beals,
Yes.
Dan Clark,
Yes.
Justin Dufresne,
Yes.
Diane Goldner,
Yes.
Todd Helwig,
Yes.
and I vote yes. Okay. You're all set, Lisa.
Thanks, you guys.
Good, good. Stay
Appreciate
in
it.
tou- Good, good. Vinny, you need to stay close to that? Vinny, are you?
Do I? Yeah, just when you get the guy cutting
mail?
the trees. Well,
Oh,
I'll
okay.
put this together. I'll send you a note on email and you can come
Okay.
in and pick it up.
Perfect.
And then, but when you're going to start the work, give me a day's notice for when the tree guy is going to be there. And I'll probably
Awesome.
just keep an eye on things.
Sounds great. Thanks, you guys.
Good. Thanks, Lisa.
Have a good night.
Good luck.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Okay,
No, thank you.
that ends the public hearing part. We have a few items here. First one is a request for a COC for 190 Howard Street. That is the horse pasture and stables that were built, I believe maybe a year and a half ago, 2.
Yes, I think it was a couple of years ago.
Yep.
What's the year on the order? 2021. So it's been a few years. This is just at the house. So off to the left here is the access drive. Howard Street is off to the left, probably 200 feet. And then you come up to a turnaround, garage, the old barn, the house. And this is a pasture with the shed, where they keep the horses, a stable. And then there's a riding ring off to this area here, and pastures that are fenced off in the back. The wetlands are in this area here. They proposed a level spreader and a swale along the edge. And then they also proposed a stormwater basin, and yeah, down in this area, there's a stormwater basin. And there's wetlands in this back area here. Everything looks like it's been done appropriately. It took them a little while to get the grass to be growing just because of weather and horse activity and truck delivery activities, but generally they've done a good job, and they've requested a certificate of completion or of compliance.
Good. Any questions from the commission, comments, concerns? Okay. We need a motion to award a certificate of completion for 190 Howard Street.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Justin. Roll call. Tom Beals,
Yes.
Dan Clark,
Yes.
Justin Dufresne,
Yes.
Diane Gouldner,
Yes,
Todd Helwig,
Yes.
and I vote yes. Fun. Let's see here. We have a informal discussion or the violation day. Do you care?
Your call. You're in charge.
Let's go with the violation. So
All
128 Davis Street. I believe Tom Beals, you were the advisor.
Informant.
128 Davis Street. This is the one we had a couple of months ago, which is just off Route 20. A lot of DCR land and back. There was some early cutting done and Trump dumping, stump dumping. And
Let's not get politics into this.
Yeah, I know. It's hard to say that 3 times fast.
All right, so this is the property. Let me just try to move all. Okay, I didn't put an image, but just 100 feet over. This is the house on the corner of Davis and Route 20. And then across the way, it goes across Route 20 to Davis that goes to Otis. So this is on the side that goes up to West Main Street. And this house here, the property owner bought it, I think 2 years ago. He had cut some trees or actually, I think it was in February. He cut some trees up in there at the southwest corner, and then pushed the stumps and the logs over, or his contractor pushed the stumps and logs over, and that's when Greg saw that one. So we stopped him, had him pull everything out, clean the area up. He did a good job with that. He hired a good contractor, and it got cleaned up. And just I got notified from Tom that there was activity, and it turns out that he brought some fill in this area to fill and kind of level this off before he brought loam in to seed the backyard. So this area in red is the area where the fill has been placed. Generally, it's not surveyed, it's just an estimate. And but this is the wetland line from the maps. I think it comes out a little bit closer, but comes up the slope a little bit. And the area where the fill is probably about 25 or 30 feet away from the edge of the wetland in this area. So if you can remember this picture, the fill is here. I have a photograph from the blue is the property line. So I have a photograph of standing here looking southwest, and then another photograph from here looking west. So I'll pull those up so you can see what I saw.
Vinny,
there.
is the pink all fill?
This is all fill over here, and what's been altered. It's the area where the skid steer was moving material around. You'll see that in the photo, I think.
I just can't understand how they continue to, go past their property lines with their construction.
I thought there was a fence back there too, Vinny.
No,
No.
no.
Who's the property owner on the behind?
DCR.
Oh,
Yeah,
Okay, that's the wrong photo. I'll be back to get the right one. All right. Oh, come on. Okay, I think you can see that photo. This is the photo taken from almost the property corner. The property corner is probably right at my feet. Looking out over what has been pushed and filled out there with some stumps and some logs. And you can kind of see the cattails and the wetlands come up to a point in this area here, but you can see the opening there for the wetland, and the wetlands come up along this slope. So this is an area where his contractor went beyond where he suggested the contractor should go. So he was very apologetic. The property owner's been very agreeable, trying to, he'll do whatever we need to have done. And he's apologetic of this whole thing. So we're going to try to work on that. And this is the area where it comes around the house from the road and goes out. The property line is probably, this is probably looking down the property line here to the property corner being there. So I think it's actually kind of running from here down there.
Vinny, I see an erosion control fence,
Yes.
but then it disappears, or is it?
Well, it got filled over with, oh, sorry about that. When the guy was moving material around here, it filled over the fence. I think the next picture will show that. Nope, this is the property line. I scratched with my heel, a distance about 20 feet just from the assessors. So it could be 5 or 10 feet off even. But this is where the property line is approximately.
Yep.
And then there's this area here. And then the corner is probably up in this area here, that lighter spot. And then this is the location of, I think that's the silt fence. It looks just dark. Oh, no, the silt fence is here. That's probably going to jump.
Let's see it.
So the silt fence is right here. That rock, that boulder is sitting on top of the silt fence. It kind of rolled and crushed it. And then, sorry. And then this fill has been placed there. The owner has already contacted this. This came up this morning. I talked to the owner and he jumped right on and has talked to S&M Farms, and they were out there on the site at 2 o'clock this afternoon to install silt fence at the limit of the fill, but they can't put it in here because there's just no space to do the work. But they have silt fence up in the other areas. So like I said, he's been responsive and kind of doing the best he can with a difficult situation. This is standing on the property corner in the back, in the rear, looking at his shed. The property line pretty much goes right here. So this has all been altered and filled, and the property line is there. So I think he's going to have to pull all this stuff out and then make sure there's enough loam left and plant it back to be a wetland. I'm sorry, to be a buffer, natural buffer area. And then this is another picture of that area off to the right at the west slope. I think that's the last photo.
So the land that has been encroached is DCR owned land.
His property, a portion of it, and DCR owned. And let me know if you want to go back to the photos of the back area there. the fill area at the top. So that last picture was taken like right up in here.
Yeah.
And then the one looking at the shed is from here across there.
Vinny, do we need to engage DCR with this, or can we just move ahead without their support?
DCR owns the property, so we need
Right.
to engage DCR.
Yep.
I put in an email to someone I know over there and asked who the person is that does and handles encroachment work. And I have not heard back from them.
Okay.
But I just sent it to them at 11 o'clock
Yep.
this morning.
Yep.
So I'll pull up the plan. So it's a little easier to see.
What were they trying to do? Why are they doing all this work back there? What are they trying to accomplish?
I think he wants to make a grass lawn, and he had no idea where his property line was. So you can see from this picture, those pictures that were taken along the access road are taken from like down here and looking up to the back. And then the one looking at the shed was here. You can see the shed's very close to the line. Again, these are assessor lines, so they're not exact, but we know that's not really close. And then this area here is where the logs and stumps were pushed from that area out that they will have to get removed.
So I still can't fathom how someone can trespass on somebody else's property, fill it in and grade it and just think that it's okay to do that.
The owner is absolutely in agreement with you. He talked to the landscaper or the person who was doing the work and explained that the property line was about 20 feet off the house, and that he wanted this area graded in his backyard. And I had put a little stick up there in February or so. I'm not sure if it was there, but he said he just wanted this area graded. And when the person was bringing the material in and moving stuff around to make the yard, his contractor, he went away for the weekend, and the contractor was working while he was away. He just got back this morning. So he was surprised to see what was going on, surprised at my phone call, and very apologetic. So he was not knowingly filling someone else's property and making a bigger mess. He doesn't want to create any problems or get into any more trouble. He understands that he was over the line, and he plans on repairing it and restoring it. So that's what I was asking the commission, if I can, instead of having them go through a full notice of intent for this, it's pretty clear what's been done. It's not in the wetland, it's in the buffer zone, but I would do an enforcement order and require that he remove all the fill that's beyond his property line, and clean it all up and revegetate it to be a vegetated buffer.
Sounds like his contractor should be doing it for free.
Well, that's what I was going to say, Tom. Do we know who the contractor is, Vinny?
I have not gotten that. I've asked, but he's not
Okay,
provided it.
Is the property owner Mr. Fakori?
Yes.
He's got a hand up. I'm going to bring him in.
Good.
Abanoob, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I'm bringing you in as a panelist.
Good afternoon.
Good. Did I pronounce your name correctly?
Yes, close enough.
Okay,
It's
close enough. Okay.
Avenue.
Very good. Thank you. All right, you've heard some of the discussion going on here.
So first, I'd like to start with my apologies for the extra work with all of you guys late in the day discussing all of that. So my apologies. There's a lot of things as a first homeowner. I was excited with the backyard. It looked not great when I took it over. I wanted to just have extra grass as we're anticipating to have kids soon in August, and I just wanted to make sure to start prepping all of that before they get on. And I think just having the contract here, originally when it happens, I was not aware of the stumps or anything or where the dotted line is. I thought when we aligned it, especially where number 18 is on that map, I thought that's where we actually highlighted exactly where it is, but it looks like he went a little bit extra and the rest of it. So again, my apologies, whatever you guys decided to do. I'll just call someone and just bring him in and do it right away.
Okay.
It's the last thing I want to continue having. I literally just moved in town 2 years ago, and that's the last thing I want to start long journey in being a part of the town with. So
Okay. Any questions from the commission?
My only comment is that, before anything else gets done, it would probably make the most sense to get those two rear property corners surveyed in so you would know exactly where they are and where you can work and where you can't.
trust me, without saying, not just cones. I'm gonna try to make sure flags showing, know exactly what it is. That was not fun at all. I normally don't like to be in those type of meetings. I like to just stay cool and just do as much as needed to stay under the radar. So again, I completely apologize. Whatever is needed, necessary, we'll just get it done. Like I said, as Ben walked me through, literally I got on the call with S&M. They came in where it shows on the 18 from the beginning of the property all the way to the back or mid yard, the black fence was installed.
Yep.
And you guys agree, I would like to bring that person, the contractor, to come in on Wednesday, remove some of those and call again the S&M to put that fence up again before any of the work will continue on or clearing, just in case it rains or anything. And we'll take it from there. Again, it's lesson learned to see what it is, but honestly, it's I'm not gonna call it an honest mistake, but it's just I really did not. It's the first time I have done anything like that, and I'm hoping that it doesn't cause more problem and issues to the town. And again, I don't mean to step over anybody's property. I would hate if somebody does that to me. So again, not intentional.
Mr. Pecora, are you going to use the same contractor?
I wish I could say no, but I'm gonna try to at least to get anything free out of that because this really has been costing me a lot of money to get all of that work. So I'm gonna try to negotiate anything with, but if you guys feel more comfortable to use somebody within the town or something to know exactly what the regulation, I'll be more than happy to go with them.
I mean, no, I just brought it up as a matter of an earlier comment that, you have an issue with him. So that's between you and the contractor.
I'm definitely having an issue because I hate being in, like I said, to be in those situations, right? I mean, again, that red at the beginning where it shows the 18 number, that could be my fault. I did not highlight it exactly what it is to go in. But the back portion, I was very clear about to not, because I marked the tree, me and Vincent, the last time he was here. That I was clear about. That one from the side of the house, that exactly where his arrow is right here, that I was not aware that I went that far in, to be full transparent. And you can see even when, like, when we saw the property, it was a lot bigger from a grass perspective. I did not touch any of that from the first time we touched it, or I stayed away from all of that. But the back, that I was aware of, and it did not, he just went beyond that. So like I said, all those stumps, the logs, all of that, I can get it moved as early as Wednesday, right? If you guys allow me to, and try to level it with fill or something, and then get the loom and seed it and do whatever is necessary to get back on track and avoid any of that. So.
All right, so Vinny, it sounds like we're looking at, well, let's see what the commission wants to do. But my preference, my personal position here is I think we should do an enforcement order, and then have you stay close to the contract when he comes out with what gets done. And then nothing, no more work happens until that is completely done out there. Mr. Fakori, what else do you want to do in the backyard?
Nothing. It's literally just grass. I was planning hydro seeding it. Because if you see the pictures where he put those stumps and when
Right.
you see the front, it's like it's steep down, it's like it's pretty dead angle. That's why he was trying to level it with some of those fill so it doesn't fall down right away. So it just bring it up a little bit and just grass it.
Okay.
That's just hydro seed it, loom it, grass it, and that's all I'm looking for.
Okay. All right.
Nothing else.
What's the commission think? Any comments, ideas?
I mean, my only thing, Greg, and even for Mr. Fakori too, is probably, and to Tom's earlier point, just get those property lines staked, because I think if he's got grass in the backyard, that's fine, but anywhere that's not his property, that's DCR's property, should just we should let that go back to its natural state. I'm sure DCR doesn't want somebody working on their property or doing different things. So I feel like you really need to identify that property line, make sure you get that locked down, and then don't do work that's not on your property.
I promise you one thing. Once I finish that, I'm definitely gonna log those, and I am putting a fence exactly where my property line is. I am done with this. I promise you exactly where you see that blue line, there will be a fence going all the way around it, right? And I'm just gonna, I don't have to worry about all of the back of it at all.
Well, the point is pretty well brought up about, especially if you're gonna do a fence, is knowing exactly where that property line is before you put a fence in. You want to rip that out. So it's probably, that would probably be a good investment on your part to get that professionally scoped.
I promise you, once I start saving a little bit, this is, it's been a lot more than anticipated to be at all.
And just to not to justify, but if I don't have the aerial photograph of this, but on this map, the edge of the prior owner's clearing was somewhere out in here. So the prior owner had cleared this area all the way down in here. So you can see the property line, the property corner is way up here,
right?
But then it comes back at a steep angle. It appeared even from being in the field that this was all mowed lawn. Actually, there was some brush up here, but it was mowed lawn all the way back in this area here, or to about here.
Yeah, Vinny, I was flipping through a couple of aerials. It looks like that dates back to like even 2015, even before then. So that's definitely been cleared out for quite a while. I'm sure before the applicant was there.
Yeah, he's owned it for 2 or 3 years, so not very long.
This October will be exactly 2 years.
Okay. Yep. And so that's a little justification for this area, because you always think of your property. You always think of your property as being a square, but this one, it definitely is not the case.
Yeah.
It's got that big jog coming in, but so I will work on making sure the property line gets surveyed. We'll issue an enforcement order. We'll make sure that the sediment control fence gets put in on Wednesday, and then we'll come up with a plan, and I'll keep the board appraised of the status at the next meeting. Hopefully it'll be all squared away by then.
Great.
You're still going to work a connection with DCR, right?
Yes, we still have to get a contact before we go out and do work, other than the putting in the perimeter barrier protection. We need to get contact from DCR to make sure that the property owner is okay with what we're doing or what he's doing.
Okay. All right. Any more questions from the commission?
Nope.
So, do you think we should vote this, or is this a
vote to support issuing an enforcement order.
Okay. We're looking to vote a vote to support the enforcement order for what number here is 128 Davis Street as discussed. Tom Beals.
Yes.
Dan Clark.
Yes.
Justin Dufresne.
Yes.
Diane Gouldner.
Yeah.
Todd Helwig.
Yes.
And I vote
Yes,
yes, and I vote yes. Okay. Okay, Mr. Pecori, keep Vinnie Vincent's is your best friend, so stay close to him.
Yes, and again, I'm so sorry for all of the inconvenience I have caused to the whole team. So apologies again, and we'll get this fixed as soon as I can.
We'll get it fixed up. That's the next thing. Good deal.
Appreciate
All right.
it. Thank you.
Thank you.
And if you, Abba, if you could give me a call on, let me just confirm when on Wednesday the contractor will be out there pulling the stumps and the logs out, so I can kind of keep an eye on that, so it doesn't get pushed the wrong way and have to chase them. So just let me know.
100%. Once I texted him already to not show up on Wednesday or hold until I hear back from you guys, but I'll call him again right now and tell him to show up, and I'll send you a message with all the details.
Okay, yeah, just give me a time when you think he's going to get started, and I'll be there.
All right, perfect.
Very good. Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you. Have a great night, Dan.
Okay, good night.
Thank you.
All right. Next.
Another problem site.
Yeah, this is a problem site.
Should I go away?
This
I
is
mean,
the next person said is a habitual offender. 441 Howard Street. So,
feel like a roast.
you must recuse yourself, Todd. Yes. Vinny and I checked out the place. We did our site walks. Vinny, want to convey the thoughts we have here?
Yes, this is the information from the town's database. This is 441 Howard Street, the Hellwig residence, and they're proposing to resurface their driveway, existing driveway. And we were checking to see there's a stream that runs through here, and a wetland that comes up this slope. It kind of comes up to about here. It doesn't go all the way up, but there's marks in the ground for flow. But generally the wetland comes up to this area here, and it is, I forget how many feet, over 50 feet away.
It says 56.
Yep, so it's over 50 feet away from the driveway. And so that area is, come on, that area is outside jurisdiction of the commission, well, strict jurisdiction. I can allow a minor project in an area that's already been altered. If you're staying within an area that's already altered, you can get a minor approval, administrative approval for a minor exempt activity, and that's what it would be considered. So resurfacing the driveway would be a minor activity, and I would consider it minor and exempt, but I just wanted to put it before the commission to verify, just to verify the situation, because it is one of our members.
Very good.
Well, I think it needs 500 feet of silt fence and maybe like 1,000 feet of wattles.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe like 24 wetland signs too.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah, yes.
Hand painted.
And when he's done. No, that sounds fine.
Did I present it well, Todd? I wouldn't want to put words in your mouth.
I'm recused. I'm not saying anything.
Okay.
He's not
I'm
here.
not putting my finger on the scale.
Any more questions or comments?
Seems fine to me.
No.
Okay, great. Okay, this is an informal discussion, so Vinny, go ahead and you're going to do your administrative approval.
Yep.
Okay. That's good. I see. The next one here is this is forest stewardship update.
I have not done anything on that. I've been keeping busy, but
Yes, you have.
when things slow down, I'll be on it.
Okay.
She has never responded with you for the contract.
No, I fear that she's not well. She has bigger problems.
So, What else we have here? Well, MAC dues, authorized payment. We need to do that as a commission, right?
Yes, you need to vote that.
$800 and something, which includes the 7 commissioners, yourself. That's MAC membership and also access to the online wetlands handbook.
That's correct. And the amount is $818.
Let's vote that. Tom Beals,
Yes.
Dan
Well,
Clark.
who made the motion?
Okay, we need a motion to allocate payment of $818 for MAC dues.
So moved.
Is there a second? Second by Justin.
Second.
Roll call. Tom Beals. Are you muted?
Yes.
Tom? Okay, Dan Clark.
Yes.
Justin Dufresne.
Yes.
Is Diane Gouldner around? Never mind. Todd Helwig.
Yes.
I vote yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Let's see. That's an update on the open spot. Kelly was interviewed by the Select Board Interview Committee. Oh boy, a couple of weeks ago. We're missing dates when they meet to approve it. I think actually they're meeting next Monday. The Select Board is. So if they approve her, then we'll try and get her sworn in. Have her join us for the August meeting. Anything else going on? Justin, you're gone for August, correct?
Yeah, I'm out next month. Was that Kelly Marston again?
Yes, it
Correct?
is.
Oh, okay.
So she's going to jump back in the pool.
All right.
Good.
Anybody else have not going to be here in August they know about? Any questions? Anything going on in your space?
I was wondering, quick question, just because I noticed on one of the applications before. So are we applying our no disturb zones? It seems like those are off of the floodplain. Kind of reading the regs, I was taking a look at them. I mean, it does reference resource. Basically says off of any resource area right in our regs, but I feel like that may not be the way we've always applied those setbacks. And then buffer zone, I feel like is not one of those two, right? So buffer zone would still be only based off of a BVW. Just kind of wondering some of that, Vinny. I don't know if you've got into reading that, but I noticed that on one of the plans earlier. So
Yes.
I was looking at it while we were talking, and it seemed like that seems to be the way that they're written. But
Right. And that was the big question on 0 Hudson Street. That's the first bullet item or item that I have on the 0 Hudson is, are we applying it? And the 29 Fay Lane was at that hearing, and they just followed through. They saw that we were saying that it's from the farthest upland resource area, and the flood zone, 100-year floodplain, is typically that. And so they moved their setback, the 25-foot setback and 35-foot setback, from the wetland setback to being a resource area setback, which put them into the 25. So that's definitely a question that I'm looking for guidance. I read the rule by just what the rule says. And we have to get an interpretation, or you folks have to come up with an interpretation, I think, by the next meeting.
all right. And that's what Todd's going to dig into that for us a little bit.
Yes.
Okay.
As long as we remind him.
Gotcha. I was trying to follow some of that, and I was kind of piecing it together in my
Yep.
head. That's where we're going. But okay.
So for next month.
So
can you-
when we
Go ahead,
originally,
Tom. Go ahead.
so when we originally redid the regs, it was from the wetlands line. It was not from a flood zone. It was always from the wetlands resource area line. That was the intention of it when we redid those regulations.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and so we may want to try to revise that, but that's the things we need people to look at, and like Justin did, look at the actual regulation that's in the town code. And if we need to change that, we need to go to the town meeting to make a change. We could also establish a policy but to really change it would be the key, so it's not confusing.
Yeah, because it says right in there resource area, and I was taking a quick look. I didn't dive too deep when we were going through the hearing, but just at the definition of resource area within the wetland regs, I think that probably needs to be looked at, because we define other things. We define buffer zone and we define some other things in our regs, but we don't define resource area. So I think it's kind of looking at that definition within DEP and exactly what it is. But it seems like that might be the case. I mean, it might be that our regs are saying resource area, and if we meant for it to be something a little different, then I guess we'll have to kind of reconvene on that.
Mm-hmm.
You're
Okay.
muted.
In my day job, I'm frequently asked to review zoning or new wetlands ordinances and bylaws for towns. And Vinny may have some thoughts on this, but the ones I've been seeing lately are massive expansions of jurisdiction, like having to do with climate resilience. And I mean, read broadly enough, you could prohibit houses in the buffer zone that have oil heating. I'm not suggesting by any means we do that, but even this thing we're talking about right now is not nearly as aggressive as what some nearby communities are doing.
Interesting.
Yep.
Okay. Homework.
Do we want to make that just the idea of reviewing the regulations as one of our items on the agenda?
I'm going to look at, we can talk about it. I don't know that I'm in favor of doing anything like that, but I am interested, and right now only interested in exploring the one question, which is where does the line begin, right? That's all I'm really wanting to think about right now.
All right. And again, Vinny provided some very good note material in his pre-meeting memo. And of course, then we have the local bylaws. So for next month, we have at this point continuations for 0 Hudson Street and 291 Lyman Street. That's it. Vinny, anything happening you know of coming in?
I'm expecting something for the Hopbrook Dam remediation work that's down Southwest Cutoff.
Okay.
They pulled out the surface material, but now they're going to have to excavate some of the soils down to, in a couple of spots they said down to 2 or 3 feet.
That's the old polluted auto parts and refrigerators and stuff.
And that's now a wetland, so it's really work in the wetland. So I think that's what they're preparing to submit a request for, or a notice of intent and a land disturbance permit.
Okay, DCR?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So Vin knows maybe the people to talk to, in regards to the 128 Davis Street.
Yes, that's who I emailed. The person at DCR was doing that.
Okay.
Yep.
Good. All right. That's all we got. Nothing else? All right.
Not for me.
Good, good. Let's head out then. Let's need a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Make a motion?
You seconded it, Tom. No. Roll call. Tom Beal.
Yes.
Dan Clark.
Yes.
Justin Dufresne.
Yes.
Todd Helwig.
Yes.
And I vote yes. Diana's no longer here. She's moved on to a different place in her house. So
cooler place in the house.
Cooler place. Yes, she said she was got too hot. She was going upstairs or something. So, all right, very good. Thanks, folks. If you have any vacation time between now and then, enjoy. And we'll talk to you in August.
Thanks, guys.
Night.
Bye, everyone.
Good night.